How's it going, everyone? As winter slowly approaches, it's still too fast. I've come to realize that there's a few things I'd like to get done on the Lotus before I put it up for good for the winter. And one of the things that I think I could do, but I think is better left in the hands of a professional, is the paint correction. It's not really paint correction on this car. This car has a 3M clear bra on it, and it's like a plastic film that's installed on top of the paint. It's been there for a really long time, so I don't really think removing it is a valid option. I have seen cases where that will peel the paint off, and the last thing I want to do is have this car painted. So we're going to try to polish the 3M clear bra that's on there, as that is still an option here. It may not look perfect, but it will look better, and better is better. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. As you can see, this is not perfectly shiny. Now the rest of the paint that doesn't have the clear bra on it, the clear bra is only on like the upward facing front half of the car. So the headlights, the nose panel, the hood, and the mirrors. It's not even on the tops of the fenders. It's just things that would hit rock chips, really. So I want it all to look pretty even, and it's pretty noticeable that it has this on here and that it is faded. And I did try to kind of wax it to make it look nicer, and it helped, which gives me hope that proper correction to it without burning it, that's going to make it look a whole lot better. And I want to get this done before there's any rock salt on the ground. Not that this car could really rust, but I really don't want to deal with that on all the hardware on the bottom of the car. So I am taking this to a place called Precision Auto Detail, and I've dealt with the guy Sean Jaworski many times. There's not really many people I let touch my cars, and he did a fantastic job. I had a 99 M3, a fern green car. Paint was pretty rough on it, but it came out looking like you could dive into the paint. I mean, I've done paint correction on black cars and white cars, and I've never really done a metallic color to that extent, and it just looked so good. So I trust that this car is going to look just amazing by the time I get it back. And I'm sure I'll get it back before they decide to treat the roads, because it got cold outside, which is what they really like to do here for some reason. But anyway, I'm going to show you kind of the dull and faded clear bra that's on the car. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. You can see the fender here looks really nice, and then where the clear bra starts, it's dull. And right next to the hood, you can totally see the difference in reflection. And another bad thing about the clear bra, and again, this clear bra is great, it saves paint, and I don't have anything bad to say about it, but when it gets old, it requires some maintenance, which was not done on this car. They developed dirt around the edges, which makes the line very apparent. You can clean them, but it's just like a sticker. It gets old, it kind of pulls on the edges, so we're going to try to clean that up as well. You can see right there, it looks pretty bad, and it looks the worst where it gets the most wear at the bottom of the bumper. So again, it's kind of a little thing to be upset about, but I just want to get it done. See right there. It's that time of year where I'm not really driving this car that much, and as soon as they treat the roads, as soon as it gets that cold, this car is just going to be parked in here until springtime. So I figured now was a very good time to do it. You can see it's on the mirrors too. I'm just ready for this to look more uniform. So I'm pretty excited. I just got back from dropping off the Lotus with Sean, and he seems to think that all of that 3M film, if that's actually 3M film, it could be somebody else's, but he seems to think that's all going to come off clean, and there'll be no paint damage behind it, and we may reapply some film that'll look a lot better. I'm really excited about that, as well as many of the imperfections that I assumed were in the body are actually in the film itself. So the car's going to look really good when I get it back, and I just can't wait. Well, the car is back, and my expectations were just blown out of the water. The car looks so good. He actually was able to get all of the clear bra off. All of it. Like the paint was actually kind of rough underneath, but he was able to correct it, ceramic coat it, and he actually reapplied film to the hood, although if I hadn't told you, you'd never, ever know. Let's take a look. You would never be able to tell just by looking at this that this had film on it. I mean, I didn't even know that until Sean pointed it out. I am so happy with the way this turned out. It looks just like it was painted. You can kind of feel it with your fingernails, but I mean, most people don't drag their fingernails across somebody else's car. Please don't do that if you do. And the other nice thing is the lines are gone. So the piece of material that Sean used to put the clear bra on this hood
was larger than the actual hood, unlike the piece before where there was a line at the corners because the material was maybe a few inches shy of the entire depth of this hood. It was probably not acceptable back then, and it definitely looked bad some 10 plus years later.
So another really ugly part of this car was this lower part of the nose panel just above the lip. As you can recall, earlier in this video I showed you how it had a line with dirt. It's kind of peeling right here. And yeah, this actually does have some spider cracking and some rock chips, which honestly I probably will never take care of because that would mean that this lower section is going to need paint. But it looks so much better. This is probably the roughest section of the car, and it just looks so much better. That clear ball was just well beyond its prime. There were also some, well, first, the other thing is this thing was cut totally wrong. I mean, it was like somebody had pulled it too far over here, and all those lines across the headlights and the nose panel, it's all gone. It looks fantastic, and as you can see, you can't really tell the difference in the way the car looks between the hood and the nose panel. It's perfect. So I'm not really trying to trash talk that old film or whoever put it down. It did its job. The paint on the side of this car and on the front of this car is in really good condition. I mean, the mirrors have no chips in them. The side skirts don't have any major road debris, and I cannot do anything but assume that did its job and protected the paint from all the road debris that the 50,000 miles this car has, well, almost 50K on it, would have done. So thank you for whoever put this on, because the car looks so good. I mean, the car's 21 years old, and it looks so good now. Aside from the removal of the film, the ceramic coating and paint correction makes the paint look so good. It's probably hard to tell on the camera. It looks so deep, and like the clear looks like it's a 1/4 inch thick. It looks so much better than it did before, and I thought it looked pretty good before. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the paint was in pretty good shape. Sean kind of disagreed with me, but it looks great now. And you know, now that it's coated, it's protected. Not that this thing gets parked outside, but I'm still super happy with the way this came out. It looks fantastic.
So Sean told me when I picked this up that they ended up shooting a video while they cleaned the car up, while they pulled the film and corrected the paint. I'm sure there were lots of curse words and maybe things getting thrown across the shop. I heard that the film came off in little itty bitty pieces, which has to be so frustrating. But they shot a cool video about it, and I will be putting that in the description of this video. And you might be asking, well, what's next? Because you've fixed a lot of things and the car looks great now. Well, I would like to remind you that this is a Lotus. So there are still several things I need to do. The top of that list are the window channel seals in the doors. The driver's side decided to marry itself to the glass one day when I put the window down. And then when I tried to put the window up, it got all bound up and almost broke the window regulator. It was a great time. I had to pull the whole door apart. So I got it back in place and it seems to work, but it's not right, and I need to buy new seals, which hopefully aren't too expensive. I'm also going to buy brand new front turn signal lenses. The ones on the car are a little worse for wear, but outside of that, it doesn't need anything immediately. I do need to fix the non-working heat and AC. I have an idea of what's wrong with it, and one day I'll get it in the air and check that out, and I'll probably do a video on that as well. But outside of that, I'm really happy with this car. I did end up buying a tuned computer for it, and that will require several other things to be done at that time, so that's gonna be a bit, but I can't tell you how much I enjoy having this car, so don't forget to subscribe. There'll be plenty of other videos on it, and check out my other projects because I keep adding. I don't know what's wrong with me.